Hello, good evening. Welcome to our channel DVK Physics Classes. So, in the last class, we have seen the second video on waves chapter. Okay, and but I am getting requests to post videos first on current electricity. So, I decided to post videos waves as well as current electricity chapter parallelly, right? So, alternate days I will be posting videos on waves as well as the current electricity. So, today we are going to start up that new chapter of our plus 2, that is current electricity. So keep heading. This is the third chapter in NCERT, okay, of plus 2, current electricity. Okay. So in this chapter, what we study? So first of all, in the last two chapters, what we have studied, the electrostatics. Electrostatics means what we have studied, the phenomena of electric charges at rest. So that's why that branch is called electrostatics. So properties of charges at rest is studied in electrostatics. But in this chapter, current electricity, current means what? So motion of something. Okay, electricity means what? It's dealing with the motion of electrical charges, right? So first let us see what is current, electrical current. So how do you define electrical current? See, electrical current is motion of electric charges. Motion of electric charges gives electric current. Okay, and this electric charges can be of a positive charge or negative charge. So the motion of both types of charges will give us electrical current, right? Suppose if you take a conductor of a uniform area of cross section. Okay, so this is area of cross section of the conductor, and say for example this end is maintained at a higher potential and this end is maintained at a low potential. Okay, so high potential end of the conductor and this one is of lower potential end or low potential end of the conductor, right? So since conductor has free electrons, so obviously what happens, so those electrons are drifted towards to the positive terminals. Okay, so that means what here, whenever we maintain a potential difference across the terminals of a conductor, there will be a flow of charge. So there will be a movement of electrons, okay, from negative terminals towards to positive terminal. So that means what here, suppose if you take any one particular cross section in the conductor, through this cross section the charge is moving, means what, electrons are moving. Okay, so that transfer of charge so gives us electrical current in the conductor. Suppose if delta q amount of charge, if delta q charge flows through that cross section, through the cross section in delta t amount of time, then the electrical current through that conductor or through that cross section is defined as delta q upon delta t. Okay, so total charge crossing a particular area of cross section inside the conductor in a unit amount of time is equals to electrical current. So here total charge crossing the cross section divided by total time taken, so that gives us, actually this is average current. Okay, or otherwise simply we can write in terms of this is average current, means what, we will use this formula, this is very important, or otherwise we can write if q amount of charge flows through a cross section in t amount of time, then current is given by total charge upon total time. So that means what, here we are calculating that average current, we are assuming that the charge is going from one end to another end at a constant rate. So the charge crossing a given cross section of the conductor is not changing with respect to time. So then we are calculating this is average current. So this or this, so total charge upon total time will be taken as the average current. Okay, so average current means what, whenever the charge flowing through a cross section is the same with respect to time, then we use this formula to calculate the electrical current. But we know in the first chapter we have already studied, right, any charge in the universe must be an integer multiple of electron charge. Suppose here q amount of charge is flowing, so therefore here q can be written as n into e, because any charge in the universe must be equals to number of electrons into charge of electron. So therefore in place of q, if you substitute that ne, then I is equals to ne upon t. So this is the average current flowing through any cross section. Okay, right. Suppose if the charge flowing through the cross section is changing with respect to time, always a constant amount of charge is not flowing, a variable amount of charge is crossing a given cross section, Then how to find out the current? That is called instantaneous current. Okay, so that instantaneous current is defined as, so limit of, so delta t tends to 0, so delta q upon delta t, or simply it is called the rate of flow of charge. So that is called instantaneous electrical current. So this is equals to here dq upon dt. So this is also called rate of flow of charge. Okay, rate of flow of charge. And this is also called instantaneous current. Means what? Current through any cross section at a particular point of time. So what? Because here the charge crossing a junction or a section, cross section, is not constant, it's varying with respect to time. So therefore at a particular point of time, how much current, electrical current, is crossing or passing through that cross section. So that is given by this formula, instantaneous current, or otherwise current at a particular point of time t is calculated by using this formula. Okay, just note down. Right. So current can be calculated in two ways. One is average current and the second one is instantaneous current, or at a particular point of time. Okay, so this equation gives at a particular point of time, when q is varying with respect to time, then current is calculated by this formula. And if a constant charge crosses the cross section always, then we use this formula to find out. So this is average current and this is instantaneous current. Okay, right. Just a minute, I'll check the camera. Let us see the units of electrical current. So now we have got the formula for calculating electrical current, that is q upon t. This is average current, and here I is equals to dq upon dt. So this is called instantaneous current, or current through a cross section at time t. Okay, right. So now based on this, let us calculate the SI unit of current. Okay, so what is this? So here it is a charge and here time. So for charge coulomb, for charge unit, SI unit is coulomb, and for time it is second. So therefore coulomb per second is the SI unit, or otherwise the named unit of electrical current is ampere. So in bracket we denote it by capital A symbol. Okay, so this is the SI unit. And other units of electrical current we use, other units of electrical current, so milliamperes, so milliampere. So next one is microamperes, so symbol mu into A. Okay, so again 1 milliampere is equals to 10 power minus 3 amperes, and 1 microampere is equals to 10 power minus 6 amperes. Okay, these are the other common units of electrical current. Okay, so next thing is electrical current is a scalar quantity or a vector quantity. See, electrical current has direction as well as magnitude. So therefore it may be considered, it may be thought that it is a vector quantity, but it is not a vector quantity. Electrical current is a scalar quantity. Okay, so next point is electrical current is a scalar quantity. Suppose if you take magnitude is there for us, for electrical current, magnitude is there and direction is also there. Okay, but it does not obey vector laws of addition. That is why it is not treated as a vector quantities. Vector laws of addition. That means what here? Any physical quantity that has both magnitude and direction itself is not a vector quantity. It should follow the vector laws of addition, like triangular, parallelogram law of vector addition. So then only we say it is a vector quantity. For example, here a wire, two wires are there. In this wire here 3 ampere current enters this point, and here another 4 ampere current enters, and here angle, say for example, let us make it 90 degrees, then it is easy to simplify it. So therefore let this is 4 amperes current, and angle between these two currents is equals to 90 degrees. So that means what here? I1 current is of 3 amperes, I2 current is of 4 amperes. Now according to vector laws of addition, net current is equals to here, it must be equals to I1 square plus I2 square plus 2 I1 I2 cos of 90, because angle between I1 and I2 is 90 degrees. So cos 90 is 0, therefore this term becomes 0. So therefore here it should be 3 square plus 4 square. So that means what, here it should be 5 amperes. So if current follows vector laws of addition, then the net current means what, current leaving from this point must be equals to 5 amperes. But if you use an ammeter and if you measure the current in this wire, it appears to be simply 3 plus 4 equals to 7 amperes. Means what here? So this current I1 has magnitude and this direction, and this also has magnitude and this, and this both are having directions as well as magnitudes, but it does not obey the vector laws of addition. According to vector laws, net current in this wire must be 5 amperes, but when we measure the current using an ammeter, it is showing 7 amperes reading. That means what, simply sum of individual currents is equals to here current in this wire. Means what, even if it has magnitude and direction, it's not obeying the vector laws of addition, and hence current is treated as a scalar quantity but not a vector quantity, right? So next one is direction of current. So how to find out the direction of current? So before going for that, let us see first. See, when we apply an electric field, in the first chapter we have studied, when we apply an electric field on a positive charge, force on that will also be in the same direction, and that is given by Q into E. Force on a positive charge in an electric field is in the direction of electric field. But in the same electric field, if you apply onto a negative charge, then force on this charge will be opposite to the direction of electric field. Okay, but a force is opposite to direction of electric field. That means what, when we apply an electric field, positive charges and negative charges will move in opposite direction. Say for example, here if I have a discharge tube, okay, here I am having, say for example, a discharge tube is there having positive and negative electrodes. Suppose here both positively charged and negatively charges are there in this discharge tube. Okay, and now what happens, say for example, if you, here we are maintaining at a higher potential this end, and here we are maintaining a lower potential terminal. So that means what, here obviously electrons will move, means what, from positive to negative terminal. What is the direction of electric field here? Direction of electric field is this one. So from positive terminal to negative terminal, electric field will be developed. So therefore, due to this applied electric field, positive charges will move in the direction of electric field. As just now we have seen, for a positive charge, force will be in the direction of electric field. That means what, now these positive charges will move in the direction of electric field, but electrons will move opposite to direction of electric field. Okay, so that is the movement of charge carriers whenever we apply an electric field. So positive charges will move from positive terminal to negative terminal, whereas negative charges move from negative terminal to positive terminal, or low potential terminal to high potential terminal, electrons move, but positive charges move from high potential terminal to low potential terminal. But what about the direction of currents for both the negative and the positive charges? So that is very, very important. So conventional current and electronic current. So two things will be there. So conventional current means it's only a convention followed by universally. All over the universe, we are following the same convention. Means what? The direction of current is taken in the direction of movement of positive charge carriers. So that means what? Whenever you maintain a potential drop like this, now positive charge carriers move in this direction. Therefore, electrical current is also taken in the same direction. But here electrical current is coming due to both positive charges as well as negative charges. So therefore, current due to positive charge is left side, but current due to negative charges is also will be left side only, because the convention of current is from, or the direction of current is taken as the direction of motion of positive charges. So therefore, by convention, both the currents of positive charges and negative charges will be taken in the left hand side. But movement of electrons means for negative charges and positive charges may be different. See, here if you take electrons are moving or negative charges are moving towards positive terminal, but their current is taken to be opposite to the flow of electrons. That means what here? So whenever we have a conductor or otherwise a tube having only positive charge, and if you apply electric field in this direction, so current due to these positive charges is also in the same direction. Okay, but if you take here negative charges, when you apply electric field in this direction, movement of charge carriers will be left. Okay, movement of charge carriers will be left side, but current will be taken as right side. So this is current due to the negative charges. So that means what here? For positive charges, movement of charge carriers and the current will be in same direction, but for negative charges, movement of charge carriers is left side, but current will be taken as right side. So this is called conventional current, and this is called electronic current. Movement of electrons will be left side, but current will be taken opposite to. That means what? Electrons are treated as particles having equal amount of positive charge. Okay, therefore their current is also taken to be in the same direction. So therefore net current now here is equals to net current is equals to current due to positive carriers plus current due to negative carriers. So whenever there are positive and negatively charged ions in a discharge tube, and if you maintain a potential difference, current, see, since negative charge carriers and positive charge carriers are moving opposite direction, therefore net current is the difference of the two currents. No, net current is the sum of the individual currents. Okay, so therefore here net current in the discharge tube is equals to current due to the positive charge carriers plus current due to the negative charge carriers. So that is the meaning, right? Okay, so now let us see one more concept. Right, suppose if you take an electron, see, an electron orbit or an electron moving in an atomic orbit also constitutes gives rise to electric current. So for example, this is an electron orbit. Okay, this is an electron orbit of radius r. If this electron is moving with v speed in its orbit, now since moving charges, right, what is electrical current? Electrical current is coming because of motion of electrical charges. So here electron is a charge particle, so whenever charge moves with respect to time, then obviously it is giving electrical current. So therefore what is the average current at each, or you take any point in the electron orbit, and what is the average current crossing through that point? So that we are going to see now in this concept. Okay, what is the average current crossing a point in an electron orbit? You take any point, so to that point what is the average amount of current flowing? So we know from the definition, average current equals to total charge upon total time. So total charge, here only one electron is there, and that one electron is revolving with respect to time. Suppose if you consider a time of one time period, so therefore current is equals to charge of electron divided by its time period. Okay, so time period of revolution. So what is the meaning of time period of revolution? Time taken by the electron to complete one round is called its time period. And we know frequency, so number of revolutions or number of rotations made in 1 second. Okay, number of rotations made in 1 second is equals to here frequency of revolution. Frequency of revolution. Okay, number of rotations made in 1 second is equals to frequency of revolution or frequency of rotation. Okay, so here remember t amount of time is taken to complete one rotation or one round. Then how many number of rotations are made in 1 second? Therefore that is total number of rotations divided by total time is equals to this much, and that is nothing but number of rotations made in 1 second. That is nothing but here frequency, and that is denoted by symbol f or nu. Okay, so that means what, here the electron is making rounds in the electron orbit. So therefore if you consider a time equivalent to its time period, in that time how much current is flowing through any point in the electron orbit, right? Okay, so since 1 by t value is equals to frequency, so therefore here electrical current is equals to electron charge. Here E is equals to charge of electron. Okay, so charge of electron, and that value is equals to here 1.6 into 10 power minus of 19 coulombs. Okay, right. So this is the formula. This is the formula to find out the average electrical current passing through any point in an electron orbit. Okay, right. But how to find out here time period? See, we know only the velocity of electron and radius of the electron orbit. So in terms of speed of electron and radius of electron orbit, how to find out the electrical current? So that we can find it out. See, from this equation we know electrical current is equals to E upon T, and we know speed of electron is equals to distance traveled upon time taken. Okay, so speed equals to distance upon time. So here distance means what? For completing one round, what is the distance covered? 2 pi r. To complete one round, how much time is taken? This much. So total distance upon total time. This is called average speed of electron. Okay, right. So that means what, here in place of this 1 by t, I can write as, or otherwise t is equals to 2 pi r upon speed v. So now in place of this t, I can substitute this equation, and finally I can get that electrical current I is equals to E upon T. E upon T means what, here 2 pi r divided by V, and this V goes numerator, then this is the electrical current in terms of speed of electron, radius of the orbit, Okay, so here what is r? R is equals to radius of electron orbit, radius of electron orbit, and v is the speed of electron. Okay, so either you can use this formula or you can use this formula to find out the average current passing through any point in an electron orbit. Okay, so either this or this, any formula you can use to find out the electrical current due to the motion of electron in its orbit. Okay, right, now let us see another concept and then we go for numericals. See here, instantaneous current. Okay, so instantaneous current I is equals to rate of flow of charge, right? That's what we have defined. It means what? This is current flowing through a cross section, okay, in time t or at time t, at a particular point of time t. It means charge is continuously flowing with respect to time. So after 3 seconds of charge flow, what will be the current through that particular cross section? Okay, so that can be calculated by this formula. So from this here, dq can be written as I into dt. Okay, so therefore now total charge flowing from t1 time to t2 time is given by the integration of this one. Okay, or otherwise it is equals to area under, okay, I and t curve. Okay, area under current versus time graph. Okay, so that is the total charge flowing. So for example, the current versus time graph is given like this. So current in amperes, time in seconds. So for example, over 10 seconds of time, okay, so the current versus time graph is given like this. Now find out the charge flowing through the given cross section over a time of 10 seconds. So how to find out the total charge flowing over a time of 10 seconds here? So that is given by simply area under this curve, this area plus this rectangular area. So total area under the current versus time graph and time axis is equals to total charge flowing through the given cross section in a conductor over a time of 10 seconds, right? So this is a very, very important concept. Now let us see, so how to apply this concept to solve questions. Okay, so first let us summarize what we have done so far. So we have done so far, electrical current is nothing but the rate of flow of charge, or electrical current comes due to the motion of electrical charges. The charges can be of positive charge or a negative charge, and how to find out the total current when both negative and positive charges are moving in a conductor or in a tube. Okay, right. So now what are the formula we have got so far? Say I is equals to q upon t. When a constant charge is flowing with respect to time in a conductor, then we use this average current. Next, instantaneous current at a given point of time means what? If charge flowing through a cross section, if it is varying with respect to time, okay, so through this point, if you take through this point, always a constant amount of charge is flowing in a given time, then we use this formula to calculate current. But if the charge crossing this cross section is changing with respect to time, means in first 1 second, okay, say for example 1 microcoulomb charge is crossing, but in the next 1 second 2 microcoulomb charge is crossing the junction. So like that, if a variable charge flows through a given cross section, then current is calculated by using this. That is also called rate of flow of charge or instantaneous current, or current at a particular point of time t, at time t. Okay, next, when a tube contains, a discharge tube contains both the positive charges and negative charges, okay, then whenever we maintain a potential difference, suppose if electric field is acting in this direction, so therefore current, total current is equals to current due to positive ions plus current due to negative ions. Okay, so therefore total current is given by this one. And next, another important concept what we have done. So for a moving electron, for an electron moving in an orbit of radius r, and if the speed is v, then current can be calculated by two formula. One is E into frequency of revolution, or second thing is here EV upon 2 pi r. Okay, so any of these two can be applicable depending on the given data. And another thing is, we know total charge, how much charge is flowing through a given cross section over a period of time. So how to find out? From this. So that is dq is equals to I into dt, and total charge is equals to integral of I into dt is nothing but area under okay, I into t curve and time axis. So these are the points so far we have done. Now let us use these concepts to solve questions, right? So note down question number 1. If 10 power 20 electrons flow from a point A to point B in 0.1 second, find the current flowing current and its direction, okay, in a conductor. Okay, so what is the given question and what is the thing to be found, right? So here we have a conductor, and say for example point A is there, so point B is there here. Now from point A to point B, so how many number of electrons are flowing in time, how much time? So 10 power 20 electrons are flowing, and how much time? 0.1 second. Therefore time is equals to 0.1 second. From where to where electrons are flowing? From point A to point B. So electrons are moving in this direction, then electrical current will be opposite to the motion of electrons. So therefore this is the direction of current. So if electrons move from A to B, current is flowing, or conventional current is taken from B to A. So therefore electrons motion and current, conventional direction of current will be in opposite direction. But for a positive charge, motion of charge and direction of current both are same. But for a negative charge, motion of charge and direction of currents are opposite. So therefore, first of all, second thing is direction of current is from B to A, but electrons are moving from A to B. That is very important. Now how much current? So current, we know formula I equals to Q upon T, but any charge must be equals to number of electrons into electron charge divided by time. Okay, so therefore here number of electrons is equals to how much here? 10 power 20 into E means what? Charge of electron, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs divided by time is 0.1 second. Okay, that's so if you simplify this, 10 power 20, 10 power minus 19 means what? 10 power 110 is left, 10 into 1.6, so 16. So 16 divided by 0.1 means what? Here 160 divided by 1. Therefore 160 amperes current will flow from B to A. That is very, very important. So the direction of current is from B to A. Electrons are going from A to B, but a conventional direction of current is taken as opposite to the electron flow. Okay, right. So this is how simply we calculate. So current is equals to here means what? Average current only, because number of electrons flowing is considered to be same with respect to time. Right. See, next question. Question number 2. In a hydrogen discharge tube, in a hydrogen discharge tube, so 1.1 into 10 power 18 protons are moving through a cross section in 1 second, and 3.1 into 10 power 8 electrons are moving in opposite direction in same 1 second through another cross section in the tube. Find the current through the discharge tube. Find the electrical current through the discharge tube. So that is the given question. That means what? It's a hydrogen discharge tube is there. So okay, just this formula we are applying to solve these questions. So anyway, I'll erase this. Yeah, so just now I have given here, whenever that discharge tube contains both positive and negative charges, total current is given by the sum of individual currents. Okay, so therefore here for protons and for electrons, for protons, number of protons is equals to how much here? 1.1 into 10 power 18. Here number of protons, number of electrons equals to 3.1 into 10 power 18 electrons are going. Okay, so here time equals to how much? 1 second. Here also time equals to 1 second. Okay, so therefore what should we find out? Current. So therefore proton current is equals to n number of protons into charge of proton, because total charge by time. Okay, similarly here electron current is also number of electrons into charge of electron divided by total time. So here number of electrons is equals to how much? 1.1 into 10 power 18 into charge of proton, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So divided by time is equals to 1 second. So that means what? Here it is 1.1 into 1.6 into 10 power of minus 1, okay, amperes. So this is the proton current, okay, that is the proton current. So similarly we have to find out the electron current, yes or not? So similarly if you apply the same formula for electrons also, then what is the current? So for electron current, IE is equals to, here number of electrons equals to 3.1 into 10 power 18, okay, so divided by charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 divided by time is 1 second. Therefore here it is 3.1 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 1 amperes. Okay, this is electron current. So as I said, when both positive and negative charges are moving simultaneously in a discharge tube, total current is given by sum of proton current plus sum of means proton current and electron current. Okay, current due to positive charges and current due to negative charges. Right, now current due to this one is how much? So 1.1 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 1 amperes plus, okay, I'm not writing unit. Now here it is plus of 3.1 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 1, total now it is in amperes. Okay, so here it is 1.6 into 10 power minus 1 common, then 1.1 plus 3.1 is equals to here 4.2. So 1.6 into 4.2 into 10 power minus 1 amperes. Okay, right. So now if you simplify, 16 into 2 32, okay, and 16 into 4 64, 64 plus 3 67, okay, but here 0.2 and again 10 power minus 1, therefore 0.672 amperes current will pass through the discharge tube, right? So when charge carriers are moving in opposite direction, total current is not the difference of the currents, total current is the sum of the currents, because for electrons conventional current is taken opposite to electron flow. So therefore total current will be in same direction, that is in the direction of flow of positive charges. So therefore this is how we calculate total current when both positive and negative charges move in a discharge tube under the application of an electric field. Okay, right. So now let us see now how to calculate electrical current. Right, so next question is the charge, electrical charge flowing through a cross section is given by okay. So the charge flowing through a cross section of a conductor, okay, cross section of a conductor is given by this one. That means what here? The amount of charge crossing that particular point, a particular cross section in the conductor is not same. That's what. So where should we apply dq by dt? Where should we apply simply q by t formula? That is very important. So I is equals to q by t, or otherwise Ne upon t. This is applicable for calculating average current. Means what? If you take any cross section inside the conductor, through that cross section always at any point of time same charge is flowing. But here it's not like that. As time changes, the current passing or the charge passing through a cross section is also changing. So therefore here how to find out? So therefore now find the electrical current. Find the current through the cross section at time t is equals to 5 seconds. Okay, I am interested to know the current through that cross section at time t equals to 5 seconds. Okay, so at a particular point of time we will calculate current by applying this formula. Dq upon dt is at a particular point of time t. Okay, so whenever q is changing with respect to time, then current is defined at a particular point of time t. So therefore now the instantaneous current or current at time t equals to 5 seconds is equals to now. So first of all we should find out with respect to time what is the current. So current equals to dq by dt. That means what here? D by dt of q means what here? It is of 3t square plus 2t plus 1. Now differentiation formula. So therefore here it is 3 into d by dt of t square means what? It is 2t plus again d by dt of 2t means 2 constant, d by dt of t is equals to 1. Therefore 1 plus d by dt of 1 constant is 0. So this is based on this formula. So d by dt of t power n is equals to n into t power n minus 1 formula. Okay, so d by dt of t square, here n is 2, so 3 is constant. So therefore if you apply d by dt of t square for this formula, if you apply here, then 2 into t power 2 minus 1, therefore 2t plus 2 into again d by dt of t. Suppose if n equals to 1, then it will become 1. Okay, d by dt of t equals to 1, simple differentiation formula, right? So therefore it is 3 into 2, 6p plus 2. Okay, so this is the current flowing through the cross section with respect to time, but I am interested to find the current only at time t equals to 5 seconds. So therefore at time t is equals to 5 seconds, so current is equals to, here wherever time is there you just simply substitute 5. So therefore you will be getting now the current 6 into 5 is equals to 30. 30 plus 2 is equals to 32 amperes. So that means what, here at time t equals to 5 seconds, the current through that given cross section is equals to 32 amperes. So that is the way to calculate a current through a cross section, okay, at a particular point of time. Okay, that is called instantaneous current through the cross section, and that we calculate whenever the charge flowing through a cross section is varying with respect to time. Okay, just note down. Okay, right. So now let us see the next question and the last question. Not last. Okay, we'll solve 2-3 questions more. Okay, so next question is, so find the number of electrons passing through a lamp in 1 minute if the current through the lamp is 300 milliamperes. You just see here for this topic, so you can refer S.L. Arora. Okay, so this book will be very nice. Okay, so concept numerical, so you can easily understand also. So if possible, you just have a copy, otherwise also no problem. So if you want to go through this concept once again, so you can go through that reference S.L. Arora volume for second year. Again, it has 2 volumes. For first year 2 volumes are there, for second year syllabus also 2 volumes are there. For second year 2 volumes, the first volume of second year is the book for this concept. Okay, so find the number of electrons passing through a lamp in 1 minute if the current passing through the lamp is equals to 300 milliamperes, given that electron charge is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Okay, so number of electrons we should find it out. So first of all, what is the formula? I equals to here Q by T, but Q is equals to number of electrons into charge of electron divided by T. So therefore now I should find out N. So therefore just cross multiply I into T divided by E is equals to number of electrons. So current equals to here how much? 300 milliamperes. Just now I have given 1 milliampere is equals to 10 power minus 3 amperes. Substitute all values in SI system, right? So 300 into 10 power minus 3 into time is equals to how much? 1 minute. 1 minute equals to 60 seconds. Okay, so first of all write down the values, otherwise, so N value we should find out. So current is equals to 300 milliamperes, means what? 300 into 10 power minus 3 amperes. Okay, and given that time equals to 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds, and the current is given as already I have written. Okay, now electron charge is given. So therefore now we have to find out the number of electrons passing through the lamp in 1 minute. So therefore here electron charge is 1.6 into 10 power minus of 19. Okay, right. So here 2 zeros, here 1 0, 3 0, here 10 power minus 3 cancel. So here 3 into 6, 18 divided by 1.6 into 10 power plus 19. Okay, so here if you multiply by 10 here and here also by 10, then it will become 18 into 10 power 20 divided by 1.6 into 10 is 16. So therefore 16 ones are 16, again 2 zeros, so 16 ones are 16. Okay, and 4 is there, that means what? 16 twos are 32 and 16 fives are 80. So therefore into 10 power 20. So this is the number of electrons crossing or passing through the lamp in 1 minute time. Okay, so this is how we can find out the number of electrons passing through a cross section in a given amount of time, right? Okay, so now let us solve the next question. See, next question. So find the current, find the average current, find the average current through a point or at any point of an electron orbit of radius, an electron orbit of radius 5 into 10 power minus of 11 meters. Okay, the speed of electron is, so 2 into 10 power 6 meters per second. Okay, so that is the given data, and we take that electron charge is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus of 19 coulombs. So for an electron moving in an orbit, so what is the average current at any point of that orbit? Okay, so just now I have given, so this is electron orbit of radius r, and the electron is moving with the speed v. So therefore here in two ways we can do it. So I is equals to E into frequency, or otherwise E upon time period, or I is equals to EV upon 2 pi r. Okay, so anything you can apply. Suppose if you want to find it out separately, okay, first time period is nothing but here how to find out time period. So time period is equals to here distance 2 pi r divided by speed. So here it is 2 pi into radius is given how much, 5 into 10 power minus 11 meters divided by speed 2 into 10 power 6 meters. This is time period. And now frequency is equals to 1 by time period is equals to reverse. So 2 into 10 power 6 divided by 2 pi into 5 into 10 power minus 11. So this is the frequency. So therefore here directly you can substitute the velocity, speed and radius values, or otherwise here also you can substitute. So depending on the data you can choose the formula. Okay, if simply the number of rotations made by the electron in 1 second is given, then how to find out electric current? So number of rotations per second is nothing but frequency is nothing but here. So directly this formula you can apply. Okay, instead of giving the radius and speed, if number of revolutions made by electron is given, directly frequency is given, then you can apply this formula. If speed and radius of orbit is also given, then so like this we can apply. I'm giving for both, right? So therefore now this frequency value we just substitute here. So EV is there now. So therefore E means what? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 into frequency of electron 2 into 10 power 6 divided by here 2 pi into 5 into 10 power minus 11. Okay, so here 10 power minus 11, here 10 power minus 8 is left. Okay, right. So therefore here 2 and here 2 also gets cancelled. So therefore here 1.6 into 10 power minus 8, here 10 power plus 6 is there, therefore 10 power minus 2 is left, and here it is 5 into pi is there, 5 into pi. So this much current will flow at any point, okay, in the electron orbit. So this is only an introductory lecture on current electricity. Okay, so what is electrical current? Remember here we are always here talking about charge flowing normally through the cross section. Okay, so we are always talking about movement of charge carriers perpendicular to this cross section. Okay, so the amount of charge flowing normally through a cross section in a given amount of time is called here electric current, or in 1 second amount on second time is called electric current. Suppose if the current is not flowing normally through the cross section, then how to find out? Then we will define an area vector and then current density and all those things are there. Just I will give you in the next class. Okay, right. So thank you very much. So keep learning.